If you own a pet Gundog, you have probably heard or maybe even used one of these sayings. They're stubborn, they'll grow out of it, the right tool will fix it, or whatever the fuck you say or listen to on a daily basis. And I'm here to tell you that every single one of them is wrong. In this video, I'm going to bust the biggest myths and show you what is actually going on. Myth number one. They're stubborn. So your Gundog is just stubborn. And I bet you think they're being difficult on purpose because they know exactly what you want. They're just choosing not to do it. And people believe this because their dogs will just look at them and choose to ignore them. And I get it. It does feel personal. And it probably feels like they're defying you on purpose. But here is the truth. Your dog actually isn't being stubborn. They are just simply making a choice. And unfortunately, that choice isn't listening to you. This could be down to the factor of the environment is just more rewarding than what you are, which for a lot of our Gundog breeds out there, they do find environments actually reinforcing. So they're probably going to choose that over yourself. But they're not being naughty, and that is the key. They are simply just being logical in their brain. If your dog was to choose between you and a pheasant, and they choose the pheasant, that's nothing to do with them being stubborn. It's just genetics. It's literally what they are instinctively bred to do. All we need to do here is increase your value, which is then going to decrease their stubbornness. Myth number two, they will grow out of it. I hate to break it to you, but your dog is just not a fucking jumper. Your Gundog is acting up now, but they'll calm down when they get older, right? Like, surely that's how it works? Or surely you're thinking that it's just a phase and that it'll pass. And as I just said, they will grow out of it. And the reason people believe this myth is because dogs do actually mature. And believe it or not, some behaviors can actually improve with age. And so because of that, it feels quite hopeful. But here's the truth. You're rewarding the behavior now, meaning they are never going to grow out of it. Dogs work and learn through association, meaning the more that they reinforce, the more that behavior is going to stick. So instead of growing out of it, unfortunately, they're just going to grow into it. A 2-year-old that's learned that pulling works is going to be a 5-year-old that's just going to make your life a living hell. Maturity can help, but it's not going to fix bad habits. You actually need to address the behavior in order for it to stop. Myth number three, they'll calm down eventually. Little fact for you, this dog right here, 8 years old. Has he calmed down? Has he bollocks? You know, I understand, like, you know, your dog's hyper now, they'll eventually just chill out. I bet you've all heard of that magic number, the number 2, of after the dog reaches that age, they just calm down. They're probably just hyper because they need to burn off more energy. And obviously more exercise means a calmer dog. And the reason people believe this myth is because a tired dog genuinely is a lot more calmer on the exterior, that is. And it obviously looks like it's working short term, but I can guarantee you it's not. And it's obviously a very easy solution. But the truth is, a tired dog is just a tired version of a wired dog. And all you're really doing is creating a super fit adrenaline junkie. The more you exercise them, unfortunately, the more they're going to need. What they actually need is to learn how to be calm. And that is a skill and not something that just happens with age. So if you're waiting for them to just calm down eventually, what you're probably going to find is the opposite effect. Myth number 4, and this is probably the one that cringes me to my absolute core, that's just the breed. Your Gundog is crazy because they are a Gundog. It's in their DNA, obviously, and you obviously can't change breed traits. And people believe this myth because Gundogs are actually high energy. It is true that they are bred to work, but this feels like an excuse to me. And the truth is, yeah, they are bred to work, but they aren't bred to be uncontrollable, or badly behaved for that matter. A working Gundog is focused and not off its tits. And the mayhem that you encounter daily is actually just down to poor management and not actually the breed. You can absolutely work with their drives instead of against it. And my advice is actually to channel it and definitely not suppress it. And please don't blame the breed. Any dog can do what you want as long as you put in the work. Myth number 5, they're doing it because they are naughty. Yeah, your dog's being naughty, they're being defiant, and they're simply just trying to piss you off on purpose. And people obviously believe this because the behaviours do actually look quite intentional. And sometimes it can often feel quite personal as well. The truth is, your dog isn't actually being naughty, they're just trying to communicate. They're telling you something isn't working, or they just need your attention. All they want is for you to just listen to them. Perhaps they're frustrated. Maybe they could even be confused. Or maybe they're just not getting what they need. Your dog can't just be naughty out of the blue. There is always a reason as to why a dog is displaying a problem behavior. It's up to you to figure out the reason why. So instead of labeling them as naughty, just look at what they're trying to tell you. Myth number 6, they have selective hearing. Really sorry to burst your bubble about this one, but it's a load of gobbledygook. He can literally hear me from just whispering. So there you go. And your dog can hear you fine at home, but as soon as you go out of the house, it's as if they go deaf. All they're really doing is just choosing to ignore you. And people believe this because, yes, it is true, dogs do respond differently inside as opposed to outside, and it feels like they are being selective and ignoring you on purpose. But the truth is that when they're outside, their brain is at a fucking rave. The lights, the sounds, the smells, it is all a little bit much for them. There is just so much going on with them in their brain that they just simply cannot cope. It's not that they're ignoring you, they just can't hear you because of all the noise that's going on inside their head. And it isn't selective hearing, it's just selective attention. And that is totally normal for a Gundog brain. Instead of jumping to selective hearing, how about we just decrease the environment and have a go with our dogs in somewhere that's not as distracting. Actually get them into a state of mind where they can pay attention. And you'll soon find that selective hearing just disappears. So this is the final myth, and unfortunately the one that too many people fall into believing, and that is that the tool will fix it. You've probably been led to believe that there's some mystical collar, lead or harness that's just going to put a stop to all your dog's problem behaviours. And you've probably been led to believe that equipment is the answer. And a new tool equals a new dog. And people believe it because marketing makes it sound true. And it is true to a degree. Tools can change how your dog acts in the moment, but it's not going to last very long. And we think that it works because it leads to a quick fix. But the truth is, a tool does not train a dog. It just manages the behavior to make it seem like it does. And more often than not, a tool is just a band-aid for what is going on underneath. The real work is the relationship, the communication, and the training. You could have a cupboard full of gear, but unless you get that missing piece right, you're just not going to get anywhere. You need to invest in what is going on underneath the surface and not just a surface level problem, and then using a tool to deal with that problem. So to wrap up, all these myths have one thing in common, and that is they put the blame on the dog. They make it seem like the dog is the problem. I'm here to tell you that your dog is not the problem. Your dog is just doing what makes sense to them. They're following their program and making logical choices based off what they've learned, whether that is directly through you or not. Because whether you know this or not, your dog is always learning, even if you are not teaching. And the issue is usually management, training, or relationship, not the dog. So what you need to do instead is stop blaming the dog. Start looking at what you can control: your communication, your consistency, your relationship, your training, and if your dog is actually getting what they need. And that is where you'll find the real change happens.